bats blue. It's the way we play. By Priority Post Courier, official courier of the 1989 Canada Games. And by Petro-Canada, dealers and agents across Canada.
Golden, Saskatchewan, fresh and wide open. Canada's breadbasket. Harvest Heartland. Saskatchewan is this and much more. A land where golden fields, green forests, and sparkling lakes meet, and the effect is magic. It's a place of wonder, a vacation land, a place on the go, yet maintaining an unhurried lifestyle, where agricultural roots have formed the foundation to this homeland for over 1 million people, where natural beauty remains unchanged, unspoiled, always refreshing. A province of tradition and opportunity. Saskatchewan is special, as is its largest city, Saskatoon, a city of bridges spanning the South Saskatchewan River. A gracious city which opened its arms to thousands of immigrants at the turn of the century. Community-minded, a great place to raise a family. A university town maintaining its strong agricultural ties. Saskatoon, charming host to the Canada Summer Games. It's harvest time in Saskatoon as years of planning and numerous hours of hard work are about to pay off in a celebration of our nation's youth, the Canada Summer Games. Welcome to Saskatchewan's largest city, a city of magic. I'm Steve Armitage, your Canada Games host. These are the 6 games I've attended, and the athlete's skill level continues to amaze. Competitors who earned medals at the track and field and swimming nationals in Ottawa and Calgary, respectively, will be among those competing in 16 sports during the next 2 weeks. For the residents of Saskatoon and neighboring Saskatchewan communities, the benefits of a legacy of first-class training and recreational facilities are a source of pride and optimism. They're a tribute to hard work and dedication. We often associate those qualities with the members of our commentary team, 5 people who will join me in presenting daily coverage from this, the focal point of this province. Let's begin with a familiar face, our most experienced games commentator, Ted Reynolds. Ted?
Steve, Griffith Stadium, of course, is the scene of today's opening ceremonies, but starting tomorrow, track and field will take over here, and Jeff Gowan will be joining me to bring you descriptions of the fast and furious competition throughout the rest of this first week of the games. Also here today, and they'll be every place throughout the week, are our mascots, Tiger Lily and Tiger Billy. They're very, very friendly folks, I know. But from this location, an entirely different setting, let's go to Scott Russell.
There's a classic battle shaping up on Lake Diefenbaker, about 150 kilometers south of Saskatoon. A battle between man and nature in the sport of sailing. Lake Diefenbaker is man-made, but the winds belong to Mother Nature. Trying to control the wind and the water will be some of the finest young sailors from across Canada. They'll be piloting boats familiar to most of us, 1- and 2-man lasers, as well as the ever-popular sailboards. Right now on Elbow Harbor, where the Canada Games sailing events take place, it's kind of calm. But I know the winds of change will blow. Ernie Afaganis is testing other waters in Saskatoon.
Scott, the surroundings are not quite as moist here at the University of Saskatchewan, where basketball has been pretty well sold out for the next couple of weeks. Of men's and women's competition, 10 teams each. The women will compete first. Ontario and British Columbia are favored, but you can never count out the host province, and that's Saskatchewan. They get most of the support here, as you know, and a home team is very difficult to beat. And this venue is going to be very noisy. As in the past games, this venue has generated an awful lot of excitement and enthusiasm. And Colleen Jones, you know all about that.
Ernie, during the games, we're going to be spending a lot of time at the court. Luckily, it's not going to be this kind of a court, but this kind of a court. Tennis, anyone? All the matches, singles, doubles, and mixed, will be played here at the Riverside Tennis Club. Ontario and Quebec are favored to win most of the medals, but this isn't the only courtside action we'll be seeing. We'll also be here at the Saskatoon Fieldhouse for volleyball. Play begins tomorrow for the men. Saskatchewan has actually won gold medals at the last 2 Canada Games, but this time round, it's Quebec who's favored to win the gold medal. Now, let's check in with Gord Miller.
Thanks, Colleen. We're here at Bob Van Imp Field, one of the two sites of the softball competition here at the 1989 Canada Summer Games. Now, this is not Sunday morning slow pitch. This is fastball, played by some of the best players in the country. And when I'm not at the softball diamond, we'll be taking a look at diving, which takes place at the Harry Bailey Aquatic Center. Tomorrow, though, it's softball, men's and women's competition, which begins in the morning. But I don't think we're going to see this guy out there.
Right.
That's the very versatile Gord Miller from Edmonton. It'll be interesting to see if Gord is going to give us a demonstration of his diving talents next week at the Games. Coming up shortly, the Canada Games torch run and an introduction to a legacy of excellence. That and a visit from a special Canada Games guest when our coverage from Saskatoon continues after this pause. North of Regina, you'll find Qu'Appelle Valley, which stretches 2/3 of the way across the province, carved by glacier-borne waters which transformed the countryside centuries ago.
Knowing that people have a commitment to you, I think, makes you a lot stronger.
The nice thing about this scholarship fund is that it's for
anyone who has a dream
and
or
it's
desire
not an
to be
elitist
the
program.
best.
It's for
That's part of the
students
growing,
who want
that's
to
part of the
continue.
developing.
It's for athletes who want to continue their academic
Talent alone
endeavors.
isn't
and it's
enough.
For
You
coaches
need
who want to develop
anyone, no matter what level
If you
they're
give
at.
commitment, you get commitment. The scholarship fund is that it's a commitment all Canadians can share in.
Saskatchewan Lotteries, proud sponsors of the Jeux Canada Games, helping people all over the province be their very best in so many ways.
We're all players, part of the team, helping you be the best you can be.
Saskatchewan Lotteries.
Welcome back to our Canada Games studios in Saskatoon. We're joined now by a very special guest, the Right Honourable Brian Mulroney, the Prime Minister of Canada. Mr. Prime Minister, very good to see you in Saskatoon. Good to have you with us.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be back, particularly for an occasion like this.
Mr. Prime Minister, these have been tough days for amateur sporting Canada in light of the Ben Johnson affair and the Dublin inquiry. Do you see the Canada Games as a fresh start, a new beginning?
Well, I see it as an illustration of really what is best about our youth and about our sports. I don't, the Dublin inquiry was a necessity that was brought about by certain incidents in Seoul. Mr. Justice Dublin is doing his job. I don't think that in any way denigrates from the tremendous accomplishments of Canada's youth. It's a cloud that's there that will only go away when in time, in the fullness of time, with the end of the inquiry, but also as more and more Canadian youth come forward and take their place as number ones here and around the world. And that's what it'll do it. That's why this is so important.
Mr. Prime Minister, there was some talk not so long ago that the Canada Games' future was in jeopardy because of funding. What is the future of the Games?
Solid. I think it's the most important event that takes place. It has everything about it. Citizenship, the athletic dimension of it, which is so important, national unity, bringing people together. There are probably a lot of things that are in doubt, but Canada Games is not one of them.
It looks as if the Canada Games are going to make $1 or $2 this time around, which has to be pleasing to you.
Well, it's not so much pleasing as it is original, in the sense that, you know, things don't have to take place in Canada, especially something as attractive as this, and as important as this, and necessarily lose money. A property run with all of the enthusiasm of the volunteers and the great organization here in Saskatoon, people will pay for a spectacle, first-class spectacle, and help out by doing that. And I think that's good.
You took part in the opening ceremonies in Sydney, the Winter Games, and now you're here for the Summer Games in Saskatoon. I would think that the people in Saskatoon are going to be hard-pressed to duplicate a very colorful opening ceremony.
Yes, but, you know, if the weather holds up and if all of these thousands of people that we've seen turn out, it's going to be spectacular. At each game, I was in St. John, New Brunswick, and then in Sydney and elsewhere, and each one brings a unique dimension to it, which is why they're so special, why they're so exhilarating. And so I'm looking forward to a marvelous opening and a very successful games.
Mr. Prime Minister, thank you very much for joining us, and enjoy the games.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And just as the Prime Minister is an official part of the opening ceremonies as the representative of the federal government, there's a special procedure used to initiate the torch run ceremony as the spirit of the Canada Games comes to Griffith Stadium to launch the 12th Canada Games. Most fittingly, the Canada Games organizers turn to the native Saskatchewan people whose ancestors first settled this area to give their ceremonial blessing to the celebration of youth about to take place. That event began very early this morning. 30 kilometers south of Saskatoon is Blackstrap Mountain, created for the alpine events of the 1971 Canada Winter Games. At 6:30 this morning, Saskatchewan native tribesmen, led by one of their elders, assembled on the top of Blackstrap and faced the east. They turned towards the sunrise and asked for blessings to be brought forth for the Canada Games and its participants. The elder hands the Canada Games torch to the first of a series of runners who will bring the flame back to Saskatoon. The first runner brings the flame down Blackstrap Mountain as the torch will be carried on foot for the first quarter of its journey. The flame is passed to Tony Danoni, president of the Canada Games, the first of the VIPs to run with the flame. Sport Canada head Abby Hoffman, the great 800-meter star, performs her duties with ease. The flame is transferred for 10 kilometers by foot with the help of Ray Reisling, Saskatchewan's marathon man, who at age 52 has run in 52 marathons.
Long wait.
At the crossing of the Regina and Saskatoon highways, the torch passes from the runners to a team of cyclists. They will quicken the pace of the journey as they cover the final 32 kilometers to the city limits of the host city. When the flame reaches the outskirts of the city, it will again pass into the hands of a series of runners and make its way towards the stadium. And there, everyone will anticipate the lighting of the flame as it's carried through the stadium by the final runner, always a well-kept secret. And the torch is expected at Griffith Stadium soon to officially launch the Summer Games. Blackstrap Mountain is a skiing facility, a legacy of the 1971 Canada Winter Games, and also a testimony to the willpower of the Saskatchewan citizens who decided that it wasn't an impossible dream to have a ski hill on the prairies. Throughout the next 2 weeks, we'll present a feature called Legacy of Excellence. It's a look at some of the Canadian athletes who went on to notable international success. People like Brian Orser, Ann Ottenbright, Diane Jones, and Lennox Lewis, who found their first fame at the Canada Games. Ted Reynolds and Colleen Jones are standing by to describe the opening ceremonies. Let's hear their thoughts on the start of this 2-week celebration of athletic endeavor. Ted?
Steve, it's great to be back in Saskatoon again. This is the first city, of course, to host the Winter Games and now the Summer Games. And Colleen, I remember so well 1971 and those winter games here, and believe me, the weather wasn't like this at those opening ceremonies.
A little bit cold.
You know what it's like here in the winter, though. It was exciting last winter, wasn't it?
That's right. Saskatoon's had lots of experience hosting all of Canada. In the wintertime, they hosted the most successful Brier in the history of the event, plus the Memorial Cup. They did a great job of that, and now the Canada Games. And you know, Ted, you talk about 1971. Things have changed so much since then, of course. They've become so much more sophisticated in the way the athletes change, the way the organizers organize the event, and you're even going to notice it in the opening ceremonies.
Yes, and Griffith Stadium will be packed to the nines. They estimate over 13,000, and there'll be 1,200 participants for these opening ceremonies. So we're going up to the booth and let the games begin. A greeting to all of Canada from the 48 trumpeters from HMCS Unicorn Cadet Corps here in Saskatoon.
Of the 1989 Jeux Canada Games, as we all come together in Saskatoon to celebrate the Jeux Canada Games, we hope you will capture our spirit of togetherness and ignite friendships that will last forever.
Now the massed pipes and drums formed especially for this opening ceremony under direction of Pipe Major Donald McDonald of Saskatoon. The bands taking part are from the North Saskatchewan Regiment here in Saskatoon. They wear the Mackenzie tartan. The Strathclyde Pipes and Drums of Saskatoon. They're wearing red Grant. The Saskatoon Police in the Prince Charles Stewart tartan. The Regina Police, the Prince Charles Stewart tartan. The Wawa Shrine from Regina, a pipe and drum corps wearing the Buchanan tartan. The Heather Highlanders from Moose Jaw, they're wearing a McDonald tartan. The North Battleford Legion in the Mackenzie tartan. The Prince Albert Optimist Pipes and Drums in the Duff tartan. The Folkfest Pipes and Drums from Saskatoon wearing assorted tartans. And the Melford Legion Pipes and Drums wearing, again, the Mackenzie tartan.
So basically all the tartans are out there except our tartan. What would an opening ceremonies be without the pipes and drums, Ted?
My Bonnie Lassie. The uniforms being worn by those trumpeters were designed and manufactured especially for the occasion, and they've spent long, long hours in preparation.
And they look very smart, too, with the red maple leaf on their sleeve and a blue maple leaf down their back. So handsome.
Now, this march on of the mass pipes and drums and the trumpet corps will precede an opening ceremony that we'll tell you we have seen a dress rehearsal. That was yesterday, and it is a marvelous opening ceremony. I've had the pleasure of watching all of them. One of the viewers there who just saw the Right Honorable Brian Mulrooney, the Prime Minister, who's here with his wife, and son Nicholas. They arrived a few moments ago. I've seen every opening ceremonies since the first summer games in your hometown of Halifax, Colleen. You were there, I guess.
That's right. I can remember going down as a young kid. I won't say what my age was because you'll be able to figure it out too easily. And they were very special, weren't they? That was 20 years ago, almost to the day, down at Husky Stadium, and it was the Prime Minister of the day, Pierre Trudeau, who opened the games then. The weather today here in Saskatoon, it's cloudy skies and a little bit overcast. It's the first sign of clouds I've seen.
Nicholas is wearing the hat that the majority of people in the stands are wearing, and they'll be waving those hats to welcome the torch when it arrives at the climax of these opening ceremonies. He was presented with his special cap when he arrived with his mother and father.
I was talking to little Nicholas yesterday, and he told me he's going to be 4 in September. He is so sweet.
Now they swing into the Minstrel Boy. We're on the campus of the University of Saskatchewan here in Saskatoon, and the entire university has been taken over for the games. The Games Village, of course, is here, and they have this marvelous, unique system that we all know now so well, of one group coming in for a complete week's activities, and then next weekend they'll go home, and an entire new group will come in from each of the provinces and territories.
Her Honor, the Honorable Sylvia Featherley, Lieutenant Governor of Saskatchewan, and Mr. Jack Cullen, Chairman of the Canada Games Council. Faisant son apparition dans le stade, son honneur, la très honorable lieutenant-gouverneur de la Saskatchewan, Sylvia Featherley, et M. Jack Cullen, président du Conseil des Jeux du Canada.
Saskatoon proudly shakes the hands of people from all across the land. We welcome you. C'est le début d'une belle aventure. C'est la promesse qu'on nous fait aujourd'hui. To Saskatoon, the blues are clear. No man cœur et no
I don't want to interrupt the vocal for any more than a few seconds, but that is the 1920s.
This is the start of a beautiful friendship. Our city is yours, and you'll feel at home soon. For the rest of our lives, we will always remember the friends that we make here in Saskatoon. Now is the time to discover our city. Joy in our smiles and warmth in our hearts. Proudly we welcome everyone gathered together in the sun. What a great way to start! C'est le début d'une belle aventure. Nous serons un effort, qu'elle nous accueillir, et nous garderons tous de très beaux souvenirs, des belles amitiés liées à Saskatoon. This is our chance to give you all we can give. You'll see for yourself why we're so proud of where we live, proud of where we live. This is the start of a beautiful friendship. Our city is yours, and you'll feel at home soon. For the rest of our lives, we will always remember the friends that we made here in
Those singers at center stage that you're looking at are all from the Saskatoon School for the Deaf, under the direction of Maureen Charlebois, our male soloist, doing a tremendous job on a remarkable song Composed and arranged for the games was Craig Salkeld of Saskatoon. And now the arrival of the Lieutenant Governor of the province of Saskatchewan, the Honorable Sylvia Fedoruk. With her aide-de-camp, and Jack Collett, the chairman of the Canada Games Council. We'll have a vice-regal salute for
Ladies
her
and
honor.
gentlemen, please stand for the vice-regal salute. Veuillez vous lever pour le salut vice-royal.
Vice-regal salute for the Lieutenant Governor of Saskatchewan. The opening ceremonies of the games are now underway, and we'll be back to Saskatoon with all of the color of the opening after this pause.
Here's McGuire coming along to the field.
Yeah, this could be the last play of the season for these guys, Bubba.
That's the truth, partner.
Third down and long, and here's the snap. Looks like play action, and what a block by Crawford. He just threw it on Martin. Crushed him. McGuire's in the clear, and Bukowski made the big play, and what a play. Let's look at it again.
The trap bell going the wrong way. Leveled Martin clear the lane here, and Bukowski and McGuire hooked up to make it to the one.
Yeah, first and goal, what should be an easy 6.
Are you, Bruce?
Let's talk about it.
Well, Bubba.
Heck of a play, partner.
Looking good on the street. Looking good. The PA can't be beat. Yeah. Looking good. Looking good. Looking good with PA. Ooh. Ah, you're looking good. Looking good. Good with PA.
P.F. Goodrich, PA Radios.
Available at Accent Tire. Second location now open.
Okay, this is the big one, so get out there and give it your best. Now hit the showers.
Shouldn't we play first?
Good point. Yes, boys.
And remember, giving your best means playing fair. That way, we are all winners.
Can we have an autograph?
Oh, I thought you'd never
Shoppers Drug Mart reminds you to make fair play part of your game.
It's the only way to play.
Coming up on Sports Weekend, the final round of the PGA Championship from Hawthorne Woods in Illinois. But right now, we're in Saskatoon at Griffith Stadium, the opening ceremonies of the Canada Summer Games.
And it's time for Lookout World. Great job by the kids. 145 of them. The youngest is only 5.5 years old.
There's a target out there, as you can see, and thereby lies the story, Colleen, because weather has influenced the this phase of the opening ceremonies.
That's right. The low cloud cover has affected it a little bit. We were supposed to have skydivers
Something
coming
seems
from
to be
the
falling
sky.
out of the sky and aiming for the center field target. Can anyone find us help our skydivers?
But that part worked
Ladies
fine.
and gentlemen, our gold medal winners, Tiger Lily and Tiger Billy, the mascots of the 1989.
My pals Tiger Lily and Tiger Billy.
They are very cute, are they? And during the next 2 weeks, we'll be seeing them at all the different venues. They are the official mascots of the 1989 Canada Games.
A brother and sister, and they're an incorrigible pair, I tell you. They were all over me like a tent when we were doing our opening ceremonies here. That great song, of course, was first performed at the first Summer Games in Halifax in '69, written by Dolores Clayman and Richard Morris.
And they've adapted it a little bit for this year's Canada Games. It's a little more upbeat, but it is the same song.
Ladies and gentlemen, entering the stadium
telling people to
now.
squeeze in a
Please
little
welcome
closer
the
together
athletes
because
of
they
the
sold out this
1989
event. And of course,
Canada
people still
Games.
came and they wanted to come in and watch here at Griffith Stadium. So they squeezed a little tighter together to fit more people in.
It's the largest crowd ever gathered together in this Saskatchewan city by far. Neela Mulrooney keeping a close look on the young lad.
This is Nicholas's second Canada Games. He was there in Sydney in 1987. Well, of course, this is the moment that most of us have been waiting for. It's almost time for the athletes to come in.
And you've done it, Colleen, when you represented your province,
New Brunswick,
in the Winter Games in Brandon, so you know the feeling. And the first team in, traditionally the host of the last Canada Summer Games, our very good friends in St. John did that, so the province of New Brunswick is leading the parade of the participating athletes from the 10 provinces and the 2 territories of Canada.
And Stephen Smith from northern New Brunswick,
Carrying
who
the
is
flag.
on the archery team, he is carrying the flag.
New Brunswick will be competing in all of the sports of the games with 276 participants in all, 53 coaches as well. They did their very best when they hosted the games 4 years ago and were 7th overall with 14 medals.
They have sent a bigger team this time round, and they do expect to do very well in sailing and rowing.
Alberta, l'Alberta.
And there's a good shot of Stephen Smythe.
Stephen's only 16. His little hometown is just outside of Edmundston, as you mentioned, in that northern part of New Brunswick. And now, in the lighter blue and white, the delegation from Alberta. They won their first team gold medal in the Summer Games in '85, and that was in soccer.
And of course, they hosted the Winter Games back in 1975 in Lethbridge, Alberta. They're all waving their Alberta flags.
There's Oliver Simonis, who was born in France. He's currently attending the University of Alberta and is on the Alberta volleyball team. He is a student at the university in the Faculty of Science. They, too, will compete in all of the sports, that being 16 in all. There is not a new sport introduced to the games here in Saskatoon. That is an option. A hosting city can or cannot introduce a new sport.
And now British Columbia comes into the stadium. Peter Ogilvie is carrying the flag. He's track and field. He was a member of the 1988 World Junior Track team.
He was one of the real stars of those World Junior Championships that Canada hosted last year.
British Columbia, if you remember, played host to the second Canada Games. And that same year, they won the Canada Games flag. The only time they won it.
And BC next time round will become the second province to host twice, because the next Canada Summer Games, 4 years hence, will be held in Kamloops.
And here's Manitoba. Karen Klassen carrying the flag. She's on the rowing team. She's a rowing coach, actually. And they decided to do that because this is the year of the coach. She's expecting her third child. They think that maybe it just might be twins. She's a twin herself. So's her mom. So's her grandma.
Boy, we really have all the information on these people, don't we? They won the Centennial Cup in '85. And, of course, they hosted the Brandon Games when Colleen was a participant. That was
a very cold winter.
The Winter Games in '79.
Newfoundland with their frisbees. What a nice touch. They're throwing them out to the fans.
Newfoundland, our hosts in 1977 for the Summer Games. There's Pam Ennis. She's a diver, and it's because of this Canada Summer Games there in '77 that they have a facility in which she can train. They built that marvelous pool. They've won only one gold medal, Colleen, in Summer Games, but it was one of the most thrilling moments I ever had at a Summer Games. It was won by Blair Tucker in the 200 butterfly, and I sort of coached dear old Blair that day I was so excited that I kept telling him what to do, I think. At least they told me I did afterwards.
Territories.
I was checking there. There's the flag carrier, Robert Gow, a softball player from Yellowknife. He was at the Canadian Bantam Fastball Championships and Arctic Winter Games, where he was on their hockey team. Checking their book, they've got participants from all over that vast expanse of the Northland and the Northwest Territories. And I think probably this is their biggest delegation. They have to travel, many of them, a long, long way to get here.
And here's Nova Scotia. Todd King, a softball player, is carrying the flag for them. And you know, I saw him a couple of weeks ago, and he had stitches in his hand. He had been spiked during a game. But I guess they're out because he's looking like he's carrying the flag. No problem at all.
And they started the whole thing as far as Summer Games are concerned. When they were our marvelous hosts in Halifax and Dartmouth back in '69.
For those very, very first games. Summer Games, anyhow.
Obviously, the Prime Minister and his family are enjoying this opening.
And Ontario, the big red machine. They're always very, very strong at these games, aren't they?
Well, they've won the Canada Games flag 4 times. The only time they didn't win it, they were eked out by British Columbia when British Columbia hosted in 1973.
And that's Ron Davies. He's a sailor. 19 years old from Pickering, Ontario. Their team is 346 members strong. And now here come the Islanders. Prince Edward Island.
And they're pretty excited, too, because next time around for the Canada Winter Games, Charlottetown will be the host. Just there, a quick shot. The Prime Minister got to his feet and was greeted by some athletes passing the reviewing stand who broke ranks to go up and shake hands with the Prime Minister. And now they've had to put some security out to see that things don't get totally discombobulated here.
And waving balloons, Quebec. I hope there's no water in those. I'm sure there's not.
These are added touches, things we've not seen in the past. But there is their flag bearer, Sylvain Hamel, who's a volleyball player from Loretteville. And he must be a good one. He represented his province in the 1989 Canadian Junior Volleyball Championships. They, of course, hosted the first Winter Games in Quebec City in '67. and went back there to Chicoutimi, Quebec for the Winter Games in '83.
And the Yukon, they usually send one of the smallest contingents of athletes. This time round, they're sending 55. At the last games, they only sent a total of 5 athletes.
They compete in only 4 of the sports: softball, athletics, cycling, and wrestling.
There's Ryan Leaf. He's a grade 11 student, great track athlete. They've got high hopes for him to perhaps win the very first medal.
And now Saskatchewan, the host province for these games, as we check the Northwest Territories who've already arrived. Cover the Northwest Territories, John. Saskatchewan, with the flag bearer, 17-year-old Travis Johnson from the volleyball team, student at Evan Hardy Collegiate.
What a special moment for these athletes from Saskatchewan to be marching in front of their own hometown. Travis, as you said, is on the volleyball team, and the men's volleyball team has actually won the gold medal in the 1987 games and in the 1985.
Very, very enthusiastic greeting, of course, for the home team.
And you know, they do expect that bolstered by the home support, that they may just have their best ever showing at the Canada Games. Some of the athletes are making their way onto the grandstand where they'll sit. It's shaped like a great big huge maple leaf.
And some people have their own private, personal cheering sections. That's a good overall look at part of the stands that are just jammed to capacity, of course.
Everybody wants to say hi to Mom. Well, they're all in now. At least half of them. The other half turn around Sunday.
There's a Quebec balloon. I guess they wanted to give it to young Master Mulrooney, but there's security out there now, although the Quebec gang have stopped, and that holds Saskatchewan and everybody else up now.
You know, Ted, a year ago to the day, they held a New Year's Day celebration. It marked the one-year countdown to the games. I'm sure for a lot of the people, this year has just absolutely flown by. Now's the moment.
They've got 8,500 volunteers to make this thing work. Over 1,200 participants in this opening ceremony. And all the music that we're hearing has been composed and arranged locally. Another little fact for you, that the oldest performer here is 85 years young, one of the square dancers you'll see later on, and the youngest performer is only 4. So everybody is taking part.
Send Mummy. Send money, Mummy.
They've only been here for 2 days.
What a time they will have for this next 2 weeks. It's a time they'll never forget for the rest of their lives. Little Nicholas has his balloon. And there they are, Tiger Lily, Tiger Billy. He's seeing so much of them during the game.
Saskatchewan with the men all wearing caps, and they too have frisbees that they're tossing up in the audience. And there's that maple leaf symbol stand where the athletes are going to be witnessing the rest of these opening ceremonies.
That's right, the show is just starting. It climaxes, of course, with when the torch enters the stadium, and whoever is going to run the last leg of the relay, it's been a surprise. We're all waiting to find out who it's going to be.
It's still on its way, of course, as you saw on our first part of our program today from Saskatoon. The torch was lit very early this morning, and the relay of runners and cyclists bringing it up to Saskatoon from Blackstrap. The Prime Minister's having a roaring good time. Now got a Saskatchewan cap as a souvenir.
Yes, getting back to the torch relay, Ted, it's quite a change from when they brought it here in 1971 by Skidoo. The kids are all settled into the athletes' village, and I was talking to a couple of the chef de missions the other day, and they said that the accommodations are just excellent, first rate. And the athletes' village, of course, contains everything that they'll ever need.
And that, of course, too, is a far different situation than prevailed in '71. They were in an old former department store that was converted into a barracks for the occasion.
The Prince Edward Island team were the last team to arrive. Their charter was about 5 or 6 hours late. They wound up arriving at around 5:30 in the morning yesterday morning by the time they got settled into the athletes' village. So they're very tired campers.
They've got to have a little jet lag, too, because PEI is 3 hours away from here as far as time zones are concerned.
And the frisbees just keep on coming. We should perhaps make it one of the new sports.
Well, you know, it's the Canadian national swim team that started all that, Colleen. And now it's become a tradition. They did it in Los Angeles. For anybody who won a medal parading threw a frisbee up into the crowd. They did it, of course, in Edinburgh when they won an awful lot of medals. And again in Seoul. There now. Tiger Lily, yeah, that's Tiger Lily has gone over to the presentation stand and a little greeting over there.
Aren't they cute?
Little fella doesn't know which hat to wear. He's got so many.
So, Ted, you've seen all the opening ceremonies. What do you think of what you've seen so far? How does it compare to the others?
I think Saskatoon has done a tremendous job. The production of it, the presentation of it, the timing is so terribly important in a thing like this. I think everyone can be extremely pleased with the way it's opened so far. And I just can't get enough of this music, all produced locally. The composers are all local people: Jack Johnson, Sheldon Corbett, Billy Andrusco, Martin Janowski, and Craig Salkeld, who was also our soloist earlier on. And the singing that you're going to hear is really very, very moving.
The artistic director for the show is Jacques Lemay, and he, of course, worked on the opening ceremonies at the Winter Olympics in Calgary. And he's put in some very, very long hours to make this all happen.
The motif is simple yet very, very striking.
Well, I know that's not hers.
Pretty serious discussion there, this young fella taking it all in.
respect. They look very colorful in their outfits. They're very nice, very handsome.
There's a bit of a bottleneck waiting for the last 2 or 3 teams to take their places in those stands over there. And these people, of course, won't be here for the closing ceremonies 2 weeks hence, 2 weeks from yesterday. They'll all go home next weekend, and new contingents from all the provinces and territories will arrive for the second week of competition. And there's something that's become traditional at any event in Canada, I guess. The wave you just saw going through, and even the VIP area is taking part in that.
What did we do before we had the wave?
I sort of sat with great dignity, I suppose, and applauded very, very politely. There's a long way to go yet, over an hour of frivolity and fun and dancing and music, and we're going to bring it all to you. When we return, there'll be a lot more from the opening ceremonies of the Canada Summer Games in Saskatoon.
Knowing that people have a commitment to you, I think, makes you a lot
the nice thing
stronger.
about this scholarship fund is that it's for
Anyone
everyone
who has a dream
and
or
it's
desire
not an
to be
elitist
the
program.
best.
It's for
That's part of the
students
growing,
who want
that's
to
part of the
continue.
developing.
It's for athletes who want to continue their academic
Talent alone
endeavors.
isn't
and it's
enough.
For
You
coaches
need
who want to develop
anyone, no matter what level
If you
they're
give
at.
commitment, you get commitment. The scholarship fund is that it's a commitment all Canadians can share in.
What is the attraction? Is it a genuine moment of contact between us and other forms of life? Or is it part of our own desire to dominate, to feel superior? Human societies exploit nature outrageously. But at the same time, we seem to need contact with animals for our own well-being. Who needs nature? Wednesday on A Planet for the Taking with David Suzuki.
Across the land following these opening ceremonies. Sports Weekend will present the final round of the PGA Championship from Hawthorne Woods, Illinois. Hopefully they won't have rain and lightning and every kind of thing that they've had for the last couple of days down there. I'm Ted Reynolds with Colleen Jones, and we're at the opening ceremonies, and now O Canada, which will be sung by Henri Nochel.
Please remain standing and join Monsieur Henri Loisel and the Jeux Canada Games Choir as we sing our national anthem, O Canada. Veuillez maintenant vous lever pour chanter avec Monsieur Henri Loisel et la chorale des Jeux du Canada notre hymne national, O Canada.
We
In the spirit of the Jeux Canada Games, we salute the pioneers, our forefathers, whose determination and hard work built the nation of Canada and the province of Saskatchewan. Dans l'esprit des Jeux du Canada, nous désirons rendre hommage aux pionniers, nos ancêtres, qui ont bâti notre belle nation, le Canada et la Saskatchewan, grâce à leur détermination et leurs efforts.
This segment's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, and we're getting the true, honest spirit, the heart of the West. In this salute to the pioneers, the people who came to this land, some on foot, some by canoe, some overland by cart. Costumes and all of the quilts out there were made locally. And those quilts you're going to story, Colleen.
That's right. They were made by the Mennonite Central Committee, all done by volunteers. And they're just beautiful.
120 harvest dancers depicting the early years of our country and its heritage. 114 square dancers from Saskatoon and the area surrounding. They're all members of the Yevshin Ukrainian Folk Ballet Ensemble.
And you can just imagine how tough it would be to coordinate all these people to get it going so well, so nice, all in unison and everything.
The song that we're going to hear is Harvest Gold, composed locally, of course, and it begins, let us show you a picture of the days of yesteryear as we stand in tribute to our sturdy pioneers.
And of course, Harvest of Gold, it's the slogan of the game, celebrate the harvest of gold.
Our soloists are Diana Danielson and Regan Peel.
As we stand in a tribute to our sturdy pioneers, ils ne sont jamais loin, nous suivons le chemin et nous touchons au fruit de leur labeur. Now we sing of their trials in the breaking of the land. We remember their hardships and the joining of their hands. Nous les célébrons encore en ce temps de cette belle moisson d'or. Chaque fois qu'on retrace le portrait des jours passés, il nous faut rendre grâce à nos braves pionniers. Though those days are long gone, still the spirit lives on, and we still reap the harvest of their toil. Dans la joie et l'épreuve, ils sont donnés la main. We remember their hardships and the joining of their hands. We salute the days of old, and we celebrate the harvest of
The firing of the muskets and the entire infield comes alive.
It's time for a good old-fashioned barn raising party.
It is, and this, in almost instant action, is how the West was built. Frame buildings go up instantly as the entire core of square dancers is now in the infield, and each set will take over inside one of those instant structures. And the whole thing will be called by the square dance king of Saskatoon, Martin Mallard.
Turn above the left hand round and all four ladies center. Make a right hand star, 3/4 go. Turn above the left, now center to the right and turn her by the right. Put her in the middle with a left hand star. Full turn and 1/4 go. Now turn her by the right and center to the right. And a courtesy turn, a full turn and a half you go. And promenade 'em round you go. You promenade on a heel and toe. Get her back home and balance out. Heads to the middle, go grand parade, go half, 3/4. Pick up that girl and go halfway. Heads to the middle, go half, 3/4. Pick up the girl and go halfway. Now size to the middle, go half, 3/4. And pick up the girl and go halfway. Size to the middle and go half, 3/4. And pick up the girl and go halfway. Side space, grand sweep, flutter wheel. Sweep 1/4, then pass through. Do a partner trade and a roll to face. New heads, flutter wheel. Sweep 1/4 now. You pass through in a partner trade, a roll to face. New heads, flutter wheel. And a sweep 1/4. Then pass through, and a partner trade, and a roll to the face, heads, flutter wheel, and a sweep 1/4, then pass through in a partner trade. Heads to the middle and star the route, 3/4 round, with a left-hand star, with the outside two. Come into the middle with a right-hand star, halfway, make a left-hand star with the outside two. Into the middle with a right-hand star. It's to the corner, go. Left down man to go, and a grand old right and a left you go. When you meet your gal, promenade to go round the ring. And when you're home, you face them in. California twirl face out, bow down low.
Well done, Martin. Martin Mallard, the square dance king, doing the call.
He does that so well, I'll tell you. You don't learn that in the school, do you?
That huge quilt, the other side of the center stage, is 32 feet by 32 feet.
The work that went into it, as anybody who's ever made a quilt knows, just outstanding. That would have taken a little while to make.
And all the costumes for the participants in the ceremonies were designed by Edward Ledson. What a marvelous job he's done. It really does show the color, the spirit, the feeling of the West. We're at Griffith Stadium, opened in 1936 by Dr. Murray and Joe Griffith. And we'll be back with more of these opening ceremonies. But first of all, we're going to take this pause. Don't go away.
When Canada's business relies on fast overnight delivery, Canada's business relies on Priority Post Courier. Service between most Canadian centers. With next business day delivery, you too can rely on Priority Post Courier. Your better business connection.
At Saskatchewan Wheat Pool, our members told us they wanted us to diversify. So we're doing it in many ways, like partnerships with Northco Foods and Film Bias, two successful companies with the potential to directly improve the fortunes of pool members. Saskatchewan Wheat Pool. Diversifying and increasing your assurance of a better tomorrow.
Saskatchewan Wheat Pool, we're here to help.
I'm 80 years old, and I love Kellogg's Frosted Flakes.
Brave adults are coming forward to challenge the notion that Frosted Flakes is just a kid's cereal.
I eat them, I love them, and I don't care who knows.
With that extra crunch and milk, that frosting just right, they have a taste adults can love every bit as much as kids.
Go ahead, Shirley. You can do it.
I love them, thank you.
Oh, what more can you say? Frosted Flakes have the taste adults have grown to love. They're great.
The official part of our opening ceremonies is now to commence.
The president of the 1989 Jeux Canada Games, le président des Jeux du Canada, Monsieur Tony Dacton.
Mr. Prime Minister, Your Honor, Mr. Premier, Your Worship, Ministers of the Crown, volunteers, many thousands of you, athletes, corporate sponsors, friends, mes chers amis, welcome Canadians, bienvenue. We have been eagerly anticipating your arrival for the last 4 years. In 1985, we were proud and delighted to be chosen as your host city. And during the next 2 weeks, we will have the privilege to show you what Saskatoon hospitality is all about. Today, we begin a beautiful friendship. Together, we will share what we call the harvest of gold. Harvests have a very special meaning to those of us in Saskatchewan. We plan for them, we work extremely hard, and then hope for a golden crop. And in that same spirit, the select group of athletes who are with us today have shown remarkable persistence, dedication, and discipline. And those qualities, I'm sure, will allow you, the athletes, to be the best that you can possibly be over the next 2 weeks as you reach for and celebrate the harvest of gold. And because of your hard work, commitment to fair play, and the training directed by the coaches and managers, we anticipate great athletic performances. And we who are proud to call this community home have an expression which typifies our city. Saskatoon is magic. And over the past 4 years, we have generated a lot of excitement, which we know will make Saskatoon a magic city during the next 2 weeks. The Jeux Canada Games have drawn the entire city of Saskatoon together. I've watched special friendships develop amongst the people who have planned these games. Entire families have been drawn into the excitement. Strangers have become friends by working together. Indeed, the games have served as a focal point with one common goal: to set new standards of excellence in hosting Canada's largest single amateur sporting event. And Saskatoon residents have always prided themselves in welcoming visitors. And we are especially thrilled today to have a full house here this morning to start new and lasting friendships right across Canada. The Games staff, as well as 8,500 volunteers and performers, and over 180,000 Saskatoonians are eager to show you Saskatoon's magic. Welcome to the start of a beautiful friendship. C'est le début d'une belle aventure. Enjoy your games, Canada.
Mr. Tony Dagnoni, the president of these 1989 Canada Games.
The exchange of gifts is an ongoing Canada Games tradition. Il est d'usage d'échanger des cadeaux à l'occasion des Jeux du Canada. Dans l'esprit de cette tradition, voici maintenant
Public address is just announcing the exchange of gifts between the last host province, New Brunswick, and Saskatchewan.
Track and field, athleticism, Tracy Ross, basketball, and representing Saskatchewan, Devika Kesia, rowing, aviron, and Dean Schmer, basketball, who will exchange special gifts to mark this occasion.
And a belated happy birthday to Devika. She turned 19 yesterday. New Brunswick is giving Saskatchewan a wooden sculpture by a New Brunswick craftsman. It symbolizes the passing of the torch from New Brunswick to Saskatchewan. And Saskatchewan has given New Brunswick a lovely painting.
Deanne and Devika in white and green.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Rory and Tracy in blue with the yellow caps now leaving.
Mr.
Prime Minister, Mrs. Mulroney, Your Honor, Mr. Premier, Mrs. Premier, Cabinet Ministers, Mr. Dagnoni, distinguished guests, athletes, visitors, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Saskatoon, the home of the Jeux Canada Games for the next 2 weeks. Over 4 years ago, the Site Selection Committee came to our great city to determine the location of the 89 Games. They saw the true Saskatoon spirit during the visit. Since the awarding of the Games, the momentum has been building, and today we witness the culmination of 4 years of hard work, planning, and organizing, which has involved thousands of people. Through the great cooperation of the federal government, the provincial government, and the city, Saskatoon will have a legacy that will become part of our history, just like the 1971 Canada Winter Games and the 1979 Western Canada Summer Games. The facilities are ready and are world-class venues. Much of the success of the Games can be attributed to the great cooperation we have had from our business community through their corporate sponsorship. The Management Committee, under the very able leadership of Mr. Tony Dagnoni, has said that this will be the greatest Canada Summer Games ever hosted, and this is without question. The Management Committee has involved the community, and as usual, thousands of volunteers have committed their time and energy to work in the interests of our city, province, and country. I thank you, the volunteers, who make our city special. To the athletes, I offer you a very special welcome. You have all worked very hard in preparation to represent your province. Through competition at these games, you will achieve new goals and personal recognition. But above all, you will make lasting friendships with people from the provinces that will go well beyond the games. In keeping with the theme, it is the start of a beautiful friendship. The city looks forward to the next 2 weeks. We are honored to have the Prime Minister, the Premier, the Lieutenant Governor with us here today. The eyes of Canada will be in Saskatoon. Thank you for coming to our city.
His Worship Mayor Henry Day of the city of Saskatoon. The big red machine, like the speech, obviously.
The Premier of Saskatchewan, le Premier ministre de la Saskatchewan, Monsieur Grant Devine.
Mr. Prime Minister, Your Honor, athletes, visitors, friends, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Saskatchewan welcomes you to the 1989 Jeux Canada Games. It's harvest time in Saskatchewan, the harvest of gold. We planted the seeds for these games 4 years ago, and literally, Thousands and thousands of volunteers and organizers have nurtured their growth. The athletes have trained through rain and shine, and now everyone is ripe for the competition. Athletes and coaches and families and fans from across Canada and the people of Saskatchewan thank the thousands of individuals who have volunteered their time and their energy to make these games possible, and who have given this opportunity to celebrate the Saskatchewan Harvest of Gold. Saskatchewan wishes every competitor and every team very best wishes. You have worked hard to earn your place in the sunshine of these games and the honor of representing your province in the eyes of Canada. Over the next couple of weeks, I know we will witness a caliber of competition which will inspire everyone in the nation. No matter who wins the gold, it will be a bountiful harvest for all of us who enjoy the sport and regard our athletes as role models for everybody to look up to. The people of Saskatchewan wish all of you good luck and indeed good fun. We are glad to have you with us. We hope you will take the time to explore our province, and when the games are over, and enjoy the bounty of goodwill and friendship that you will find from corner to corner in the province of Saskatchewan. Welcome to Saskatchewan. Enjoy our special brand of Harvest of Gold. Good luck.
Premier of the province, Mr. Grant Devine.
Ladies and gentlemen, now to lead us in our invocation. Et maintenant pour la prière, Mrs. Rita Gillis.
Let us come before the Lord our God with praise and thanksgiving. Nous nous recueillons devant toi, Seigneur, notre Dieu. Lord God, creator of the universe, lover of all your peoples, look kindly, we pray, on this assembly of the people of Canada, who now, in this part of your world, bow before you in worship. Nous implorons, Seigneur, ta bénédiction sur notre pays et sur toutes ses ethnies. Seigneur Dieu, nous nous réjouissons d'appartenir au Canada, terre de refuge, terre de promesses et terre d'espoir. We give you thanks, Lord God, for this land of Canada, which has become home to people of many origins, many cultures, many traditions, and many religious faiths. Tirant nos origines de tous les coins du monde, nous formons néanmoins sur cette terre un seul peuple. Bless, O Lord, we pray, our efforts to seek the good of all, of those who live in this land and of those who live in other lands. We ask you, Lord God, to bless all those participating in these Canada Games. For in recognizing their efforts and enthusiasm, we are celebrating the values of self-discipline, quest for excellence, and service to the community. In particular, we ask blessings on our youth. Grant that they, in turn, may be a blessing for others. Fortifie, Seigneur, nos jeunes. Augmente en eux l'idéal de l'amour. L'amour pour le jeu. L'amour pour la vie. L'amour les uns pour les autres. Lord God, we rejoice in you. Nous te rendons grâce et gloire. You are the life giver and the life sustainer. Sois toujours avec nous. Let all that we do, think, and say give you glory. Gloire et louange à toi, Seigneur. Amen.
Ms. Rita Gillies with the invocation. And now it's time for the games to be opened officially.
The Right Honorable Brian Mulroney, Prime Minister of Canada. Mesdames et Messieurs, le Très Honorable Brian Mulroney, Premier ministre du Canada.
Mr. Premier, Mr. Mayor, Tony, Monsieur le Président, chers amis. For the next 2 weeks, Saskatoon will once again be host to one of Canada's most important athletic events. More than 3,500 young men and women, coaches and managers, will demonstrate their skill and knowledge in 16 sports, ranging from archery to wrestling. Since the first Canada Games held in Quebec City in 1967, we have witnessed many memorable individual and team performances, and many will be witnessed here in Saskatoon. But these games, in their summer and winter versions, have also contributed to bring out the qualities of sportsmanship and fair play and friendship among all of the participants. By bringing together here in Saskatoon today representatives of all of our provinces and territories in a spirit of friendly competition, these games have fostered a greater awareness of the cultural richness and the diversity of Canada. As we watch the spectacular demonstration here in the stadium today of groups of immigrants who rolled back the prairies and built Canada, we have to be reminded today that the unity of Canada and the values of freedom and tolerance on which it is founded are fundamental realities of a confident and a modern nation. Wherever Canadians meet to work, to study, and to compete, that is where national unity is cemented. That is the manner in which Canada grows, and Canada is growing here in Saskatoon today. Permanent friendships will be forged in Saskatoon, and thousands of Canadians from all walks of life, and thousands of Canadians who perhaps have never been to Saskatoon before, or to Saskatchewan, will learn the splendor of this province and the value of this citizenship. Thousands of Canadians will learn from and about each other here in Saskatoon. This simple fact is a cause of celebration, because I believe that under a clear prairie sky, the magnificence of Canada today in Saskatoon appears brighter still. La compétition sportive exalte le dépassement individuel et l'esprit d'équipe. Elle stimule l'effort et récompense la droiture. Des rencontres comme celle-ci, où la concurrence se nourrit d'amitié, sont aussi en quelque sorte une école de civisme et de fraternité. Tous ces jeunes hommes et jeunes femmes qui, un jour ou l'autre, ici ou ailleurs, ont porté fièrement les couleurs de leur coin de pays, sont tous et toutes des champions et des championnes du Canada. To all those who have organized these games here in Saskatoon, and I understand that many hundreds of people and thousands of people have worked hard for years to bring about today's success. To all of those who participate actively in them, I extend my heartfelt congratulations and my best wishes. You are ensuring that all Canadians will be the winners in the 1989 Saskatoon Canada Games. Monsieur le Président, Your Honor, j'ai l'honneur de déclarer officiellement ouverts les Jeux d'été du Canada de 1989. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pride that I declare officially open the 1989 Canada Summer Games.
Now the games are officially opened by the Right Honorable, the Prime Minister, Brian Mulroney.
And now, entering the south end of the stadium, athletes representing the province of Ontario, the winning team of the 1985 Jeux Canada Games. Et maintenant,
The Ontario delegation has the honor of carrying the flag because they were champions of the last Canada Summer Games. And 6 athletes from Ontario have that distinct honor. Bevan Flett, Kelly Vrooman, Elizabeth Brown, Pat O'Donoghue, Roy Muscatini, and Vanessa Vaquel.
That's right, the Games flag is presented to the province, who of course accumulates the largest number of points. They're the overall winner, and as we mentioned earlier, Ontario has won it 4 times in the Canada Summer Games. British Columbia was the only province to interrupt their stranglehold on it.
There's something new this year. There's always something new, but the Spirit of the Games Award is new. For the first time, it will be presented to 2 individuals who've demonstrated action during the sport competition or events surrounding the competition. That's a good example of the true spirit of the games and or played an active role in the promotion of the concept of fair play during the games. And now from Saskatchewan to receive the flag, Holly Gates, Shannon Kekula, Paul Ross, Clint Pylon, Teresa Melanson, and Greg Petrobalji. Of course, the Canada flag is the symbol of the games, with squares for the 10 provinces and 2 territories, and of course, the Canadian Maple Leaf.
And I wonder who will win it this year. Quebec is always strong, of course, so is British Columbia.
And Paul Ross, sailing.
Now the flag in the possession of the host province, Saskatchewan, and those 6 will carry it to the flagpole where it will fly proudly for the duration of the games. Holly Gates is from diving, Shannon Kekula, track star, Paul Ross from sailing, Clint Pylon from softball, Teresa Melanson is an archer. The archery is just across the way here on the campus grounds. And Greg Metrobalji is a tennis player.
Yes, I was watching him play just the other day over at the Riverside Tennis Club. And there is one other big event that the athletes compete for, and that's for the Centennial Cup. And that, of course, goes to the province that shows the greatest improvement from Summer Games to Summer Games. And Manitoba won it in 1985. And for some of the provinces who perhaps don't have a chance at winning the Games flag, the Centennial Cup is their overall goal.
It's just as eagerly sought after as the Games flag, as a matter of fact. Somebody like the Yukon, for instance, can come down here and with an improvement be a contender for that Centennial Cup. This track that the flag is being marched on is in the place, it's a new track, but it's in the place where in 1960, the late Harry Jerome, who at one time held 4 world records, set his 100-yard record. That was in 1960. Harry also held the world record for the 100 meters. He was a silver medalist, of course, in Tokyo in '64. Gold medalist in 1966 at the Commonwealth Games. Was with us as a member of the party in the first Canada Summer Games. Died very tragically a few years ago.
They make their way up the stairs. 2 cadets are waiting for them there to raise the flag, Monica McCalla and Kevin Baumgardner. They're both from Saskatoon. And this Canada Games flag will fly here at Griffith Stadium for the next 2 weeks.
And there's just enough breeze in Saskatoon this morning to make the flag flow and fly freely.
We now pay tribute to the heart and soul of our young Canadian athletes in honor of their years of dedication and training. Nous voulons maintenant rendre hommage à nos jeunes athlètes canadiens qui qui se donnent corps et âme à leur entraînement depuis des années.
The largest contingent of performers, 440 dancers.
And they flipped the quilts over, and as you can see, there are the Canada Games sports depicted on the back of the quilt.
440 heures de Saskatoon évolueront dans une chorégraphie.
They're going to demonstrate for us the sports, the 16 sports that are a part of the Canada Games. First of all, of course, an aerobic warm-up. And again, distinctive costumes, and the job of outfitting almost 1,200 participants was a mammoth undertaking. Original costumes, we have original music, composed and arranged by people from Saskatoon. Colleen and I are going to see how many different sports we can pick out.
I thought you were going to say Colleen and I are going to go work out with them, and I was going to say, you can do it, Ted. I'll just sit. I'm an armchair athlete. But imagine the work it went to get all of these kids working in such unison.
Skipping rope now, which is not actually a Canada Games sport.
Carefully, they're going to be demonstrating a few of the sports. More stretching first.
Baseball or softball.
Baseball's been in every summer games except in 1977.
Archery is a part of the games here.
And they're going to do a little wrestling for us.
Swimming now. Of course, it's always been a part of the games.
What would swimming be without the voice of Ted Reynolds?
The first couple of games, of course, Halifax and in Burnaby, New Westminster, were open competition, and all of the top stars in the country were able to perform.
Yeah, we have some rowing here. Return to the games in St. John after a 12-year absence from the games.
And they'll be on the Saskatchewan River, as will the canoeists.
That's always been a Canada Games sport.
And one that your province has excelled in through the years, I might say.
That's right. We should win a couple of medals. Basketball. It was in the Winter Games in 1987, but now it returns to the summer menu of sports. Volleyball. Only the second time in the summer games for volleyball. We played over at the Saskatoon Fieldhouse.
And of course, athletics will take place beginning tomorrow right here at Griffith Stadium with the running and the jumping and the throwing and the hurdling. And Jeff Gowan will be here to join me for the descriptions of those sports starting tomorrow.
That was well done. Now we're going to hear from Jennifer Webster, giving our heart and soul.
When I look at you in wonder, so proud you've come so far, and because of this I hold you very special in my heart. You will show the world around you just how good you really are. You have courage and what it takes to become a rising star, and you'll shine forever and ever, a beacon for all to see, and the world will know you're a winner with the greatness you achieve. Chaque jour tout te dépasse, tu t'es donné sans compter, et c'est nous tous qui finissons par y gagner.
Entering the field to take the athletes and officials oath on behalf of all participants of the Games, les athlètes et officiels qui prêteront serment au nom de tous les participants. Laurie Nickel, Prince Edward Island. Île du Prince-Édouard, Robert Kennedy, Saskatchewan. Don Stephenchef, Saskatchewan. Et Mireille Crépin du Québec.
When I look at you in wonder, so proud you've come so far, you have won a special place within my heart.
Jennifer was the winner of Saskatchewan's Talent Search Contest, and that marvelous song was composed here by Bill Andrusko and Martin Janowski.
Of all competitors, I pledge that we will take part in these games in the true spirit of fair play and sportsmanship, respecting and abiding by the rules which govern them, for the glory and integrity of sport and the honor of our teams.
Au nom de tous les concurrents, je m'engage à participer à ces Jeux d'un esprit véritablement sportif, à respecter les règles qui les régissent et à m'y soumettre pour la gloire du sport et l'honneur de nos équipes.
Au nom de tous les officiels, je m'engage à participer à ces Jeux dans un esprit véritablement sportif, à comprendre et à interpréter les règlements de façon impartiale pour la gloire et l'honneur du sport.
In the name of all officials, I pledge that we will take part in these games in the true spirit of sportsmanship, understanding and interpreting the rules with complete impartiality for the glorious sport and the honor of fair play.
Ron Stephenchef of Saskatchewan. In English, the official's oath. Muriel Crespin of Quebec gave the French version of the official's oath. Two athletes were Robert Kennedy from Saskatchewan and Laurie Nickel from Prince Edward Island.
And the athlete's oath has been changed just a little bit from previous games as a result of the Dublin inquiry. The emphasis is on fair play, integrity, and sportsmanship.
We look back to some of the great Canadian athletes who competed in Canada Games through the years, including Colleen right here, who represented Halifax and Nova Scotia in curling in '79. Debbie Brill from British Columbia, the most durable lady high jumper in history in 1969. And of course, Diane Jones from Saskatoon was in those games. Dave Steen, the bronze medalist from Seoul in 1977, represented British Columbia at the time. Lennox Lewis. Greg Joy, the silver medalist from the '76 Olympic Games in Montreal.
And Ted, the kids are forming a big S for Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, of course. It's just about time for the moment we've all been waiting for, to to really complete these opening ceremonies.
And this is new and interesting because previously, when arrivals have taken place, it's been to circle around the track. This is different. It was designed to commemorate the volunteers from the games now in '89 and from the games back in 1971. Of course, the run began, as we showed you earlier, at Blackstrap Mountain, which was the major legacy of northern Saskatchewan from the '71 games.
Saskatchewan's own, a representative on the Canadian track team at the 1988 Summer Olympics in Seoul, Korea, Cyprian Nwani.
Well, this has been kept a great secret, Ted. We've been guessing all week about who was going to run the final leg. Cyprian Nwani, of course, was a member of our Canadian Olympic team. He ran the 200 meters in Seoul and ran a personal best, I might add. Great selection.
Yes, there was an awful lot of guessing as to who it might be. And it is Cipriani. And a very, very proud moment for him as he threads his way through the S with the torch. That is the symbol of the games, of course.
The Rolly McLenaghan torch.
Yeah, Rolly was a very, very dear friend of mine and the dear friend of the Canada Games. And when he left us, of course, he left a great hole in the organization of the games. He had played such a part for so many years.
He works his way up the stairs, past the athletes. What a great moment for him. What a great moment for the athletes and all of Canada.
Moment of any opening ceremonies.
And now the grand finale. All the participants will come back out onto the field.
And what a name for a finale song. Your Star Will Shine.
Welcome back, the cast of the 1989 opening ceremony.
Craig Salkeld, the soloist, along with Terry Teal, and Craig composed this song.
We're ready for the days ahead, and we're waiting for your moment to shine. Being here today fills a heart with pride that will last forever. Now you have the chance to make your dreams come true. Now we are
departure here as the athletes from the provinces and territories leave. It's not around the track. It's right straight down that same path that the torch took
Ladies and
coming
gentlemen,
in.
the athletes of the 1989 Jeux Canada Games.
And their reasoning for doing that, Ted, goes back to the whole theme of these opening ceremonies. This is the start of a beautiful friendship. They wanted them to be intermingling with the performers and the audience. The song that they just sang, I mean, it's so beautiful. It leaves you with goosebumps. It's so good. And that was written with the idea to be like a pep talk to the athletes, to really inspire them. You're the brightest, the best, the cream of the crop. This is your chance to go right to the top. I mean, it was very, very moving. They should adopt that song for an official anthem, too.
I have a feeling that they might very well do. Look out, look out, look out, world will always be a part of the games. And it's been an inspiration since 1969. But your star will shine, I think, will shine along with it.
For these athletes, I remember when I competed in 1979 in the Canada Games and the opening ceremonies, it really and truly is something that they'll just never, ever forget. It's so special, and Saskatoon can be so very, very proud of the job they've done, the job that Jacques Lemay is the artistic director. He has just done a fantastic job making this all come together and all work.
And everyone who is here as a competitor will go home with something. It's not, you don't have to win a medal to have a memento of the Canada Summer Games. Everyone will have a certificate saying that they did take part.
That's right, no doubt about that. Even all of the participants in today's opening ceremonies, all 1,200 performers, they're going to get pins and things like that, and even for the performers, they will remember this forever. And Jacques Lemay was telling me when I was talking to him yesterday that nobody was turned away. Whoever came to him and said, I want to be in it, I want to take part, he said they could have had 10 left feet, he would have taken them. So long as they wanted to be there, he wanted to have them.
And they're so very proud, the people of Saskatoon, of what they're doing here. We were at a function last night, and the watchword is, are you enjoying Saskatoon? Are you having a good time? Are you looking forward to the games? Well, discipline is broken down a little bit out here in the track because athletes are now surrounding the Prime Minister.
He's doing a walkabout.
He's doing a walkabout, yes.
Everybody wants their picture taken with him.
And he's getting pins and hats and all that type of thing. The Ontario Big Red Machine people were the instigators of this break from routine, and now some British Columbians have come in, and everyone has got a camera, of course. And I think Mr. Mulrooney is having a fine time down there. This is a purely apolitical event, and any politician likes to go someplace where politics are not a part of the entire thing, and that has certainly been the case here.
No doubt about it. And of course, you heard earlier in his interview with Steve Armitage, he said the future of the Canada Games is just rock solid secure, and those are encouraging words.
Yes, the good people of Kamloops. Do you know what Kamloops means?
No, I don't know what.
It's an Indian word, Kamloops, and it means the meeting of the waters because it's at the confluence of the Thompson and the North Thompson rivers. And that will be the host city up in the central part of British Columbia for the next Canada Summer Games. And I think it's really great that Charlottetown is going to be the host of the next Winter Games. That's tremendous.
That's right. They have been working very, very hard. And the games, when they're in Prince Edward Island in 1991, they're not just going to happen in Charlottetown. They're going to happen all over the province, which is really wonderful to include everybody. This is great. There are about 3,500 people out there on the infield now, having the time of their lives.
In all, over 3,500 people will take part. One half are here now. The other half will arrive after these people go home next weekend. And, of course, with the 1,200 people who were a part of the opening ceremonies, with all the officials in the gathering, there's probably close to 17,000 people or more in this stadium right now. It'll be all over in just a few moments, but don't you go away. We're at the opening ceremonies in Saskatoon. We'll be back after this.
At this time, we would like to
knowing that people have a commitment to you, I think, makes you a lot stronger.
The nice thing about this scholarship fund is that it's for
anyone who has a dream
and
or
it's
desire
not an
to be
elitist
the
program.
best.
It's for
That's part of the
students
growing,
who want
that's
to
part of the
continue.
developing.
It's for athletes who want to continue their academic
Talent alone
endeavors.
isn't
and it's
enough.
For
You
coaches
need
who want to develop
anyone, no matter what
If you
level
give
they're at.
commitment, you get commitment. The scholarship fund is that it's a commitment all Canadians can share in.
First time, first love, oh, what feeling is this? Electricity flows with the very first kiss. Like a break in your cloud and my first ray of sun. I can feel it inside, something new has begun. You can tell all the pieces are starting to fit. You can be how it feels. Can't beat the feeling.
There's a girl in a field, a bat and a ball in her mind. She knows she can be the best that you've ever seen. In her eyes she sees the dream.
Saskatchewan Lotteries, proud sponsors of the Jeux Canada Games, helping people all over the province be their very best in so many ways.
And we're all players, part of the team, helping you be the best you can be.
Saskatchewan Lotteries.
Well, it's all over now, but Colleen, it was the show we'd expected it to be.
It's a great kickoff for the next 2 weeks of competition. So much magic, as going back to the theme of Saskatoon is magic, the start of a beautiful friendship. I'll tell you, the kids are never going to forget it. They did a great, marvelous job.
We wondered just what Saskatoon would do that would be a little bit different. Everybody has its own idea, of course, of how to do an opening ceremony. And what I think they did principally, because you only have to be here for a few days to feel the spirit of this place, what they did principally was bring that spirit out, the spirit of Saskatoon. They kept saying in the speeches, the mayor and the premier, Saskatoon is special. It is, isn't it?
It is really wonderful. This is my second trip here. Everybody always makes you feel so welcome. The athletes I know feel absolutely wonderful about being here. They're glad to be here. Great game.
We are too. For Colleen Jones, I'm Ted Reynolds. So long, but we'll see you over the next 2 weeks.
Well, it's obvious that Colleen and Ted certainly enjoyed themselves at the opening ceremonies, and we hope that you did too. The people of Saskatoon are becoming quite comfortable in their role as hosts to visitors from all across the country. The Canada Games is the third major sports event held here in 1989, following the Brier and the Memorial Cup of Junior Hockey. Hockey and curling aren't on the summer game schedule, but 16 other sports are, and 6 of them begin tomorrow. We take a look at our broadcast schedule for the opening week of the games. During the week, we'll have 1 hour of coverage each night at 7 p.m. local time. That's the case for 4 of the 5 weeknights in week 1. The exception is Thursday, August the 17th. Please note the start times in your area. And then on Saturday, August the 19th, we'll be live on Sports Weekend from 4:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for 90 minutes of Canada Games coverage. So make us part of your viewing schedule for the next 2 weeks. Right now, let's go to Toronto and Ron McLean.
Canada Games 89. Brought to you by Labatt's Blue. It's the way we play. By Priority Post Courier, official courier of the 1989 Canada Games. And by Petro-Canada, dealers and agents across Canada.